Welcome back to the channel and welcome to today's video. So today we're taking a break from the 86 K10 and we're moving into my 2014 Cruze. So if you're at all familiar with the 1.4 liter Ecotechs that are in these things, you know they have a ton of problems, mainly leaks. So today mine has pretty much all of those issues. So I'm going to start off. It needs a valve cover gasket, very common on these. Also, the oil filter housing slash oil cooler, whatever you want to call it, they also leak. So you can buy a set of, I believe there's 5 in here, 5 gaskets to rebuild the oil cooler. That's probably the most extensive job. Then another common part, or another common leak is coolant. One of the problems is this coolant outlet that goes on the driver's side of the head. Distributes the coolant to the heater core and overflow and such. And finally, the famous 1.4 water pump that either makes noise or leaks or both. Mine is leaking, probably not long till it starts making noise. So yeah, today's gonna be a lot of work on this thing to get all the leaks fixed. So I picked the valve cover to do first just because it's probably the easiest one out of all the work that I need to do. As you saw, you didn't even have to pull the intake for that. I just pulled the intake because I'm going to have to pull all that off later. But yeah, it's just like 20 or so bolts around the outside. You got to pull the coil pack off, move your wiring out of the way, and then that's about it. And you just kind of want to clean the surface, obviously. And right here where the front cover meets the head, you're going to want to put just a little bit of sealant just on this crack here, just to seal it up. But yeah, overall that's a pretty simple thing to do. I can tell that this one hasn't been opened before because there was little to no sealant here. Like obviously it was a factory seal and nobody had been in here sealing it before. So 120,000 kilometers on it and just doing the valve cover. That's not too bad for these 1.4 liters. So with the valve cover done, I'm gonna move into the water pump. Kind of unfortunate thing is you have to pull out this motor mount, which means you gotta either support it from the top or the bottom. I'm gonna get a jack on the bottom, support it from there, and it makes quite a bit of a mess. As soon as you pull the water pump off, coolant gushes out everywhere. So you try your best to keep it contained, but usually makes a mess. And then while I'm dealing with all the coolant stuff, I'll go over to this side and I'll change that coolant outlet as well. yesterday I got all of this taken apart after a lot of fighting. One of the studs that holds the downpipe to the block, the nut, ended up seizing and rounding off. So then I tried to get the turbo and exhaust manifold off without pulling the downpipe off, which I did manage to do, but then that resulted in breaking this oil line somehow. Something wasn't super happy, so I needed to get one of those. I still haven't rebuilt that. I still need to do that. And then once that was off, I was able to get the die grinder in here and get that nut off. So everything's taken off that needs to be. That needs to get rebuilt. Need to get my new oil line in, and then the reassembly can start. Oil cooler is all rebuilt. The main thing is this gasket right in here. You got 4 screws around here. You pull this apart, you change the gasket. That's this big one right here. And then the other odd shaped one just on the back side here where it meets up to the block. Then you have an O-ring right there that gets changed. The dealer sold me 3 of those O-rings. They said there's for some reason they said you need 3 O-rings to rebuild this assembly. I don't know where the other ones go, so if I figure it out, I'll let you know, but as it sits right now, it looks like I only need that 1 O-ring. So I guess we'll see.
Life was dull until you came. I was breathless when we first met. Couldn't keep my hands away. I was speechless when we first met. Yeah, you took the pain away. Didn't mind my scars, then my broken heart. Life was dull until you came. Now I see in color again. It could rain, I don't mind if it pours, 'cause I'm right next to you, to you. Come rain or come shine, I don't mind, 'cause I'm right next to you. It's true, right next to you, to you, next to you, next to you, next to you, right next to you, to you, next to you, next to you. Never thought I'd feel this high. The sky has never felt this close, and when you kiss me, I can't believe that I am yours and you are mine. You took the pain away, didn't mind my scars, then my broken heart. Life was dull until you came. Now I see in color again. It could rain, I don't mind if it pours, 'cause I'm right.
Everything's put back together, coolant's filled, oil is checked, and it's still good. Everything is back the way it should be, so I think I'm ready for the first fire. So everything's looking good so far. It's blowing heat out of the vents. Nothing seems to be leaking yet. Coolant level's still looking good. Temperature gauge is rising as it should. So with that, there's not much more to it. So if you like what you see, or if this helps you out at all, drop a like. Be sure to subscribe for more helpful videos like this. And we're gonna see you in the next one.